Hi, welcome back to Sun Country Golf TV. My name's Dana Leaner. I'm the Executive Director for the Sun Country Golf House, and we're here today on today's episode of Sun Country Golf TV to talk about the USGA's announcement this week about the anchored putting stroke and the ban that they have actually announced at this point, which is now Rule 14-1B, which coming down the line will not allow you to use an anchored putting stroke anymore. I have along with me today Nick Geyer, who is the Golf House's Director of Rules and Competitions. The reason Nick is here with us today is Nick's going to talk about the fact that this is not actually an equipment decision, but more of a playing decision.
It is, Dana. The new Rule 14-1B doesn't eliminate any of the clubs in your bag. It actually just eliminates how you use them. So when we're talking about anchored putters or long putters, as they're more often called, we're not taking those clubs, and when I say we, the USGA and us as the representative of the USGA locally, are not taking those clubs out of competitors' bags, but simply asking them or requiring them to use them a different way. So when we talk about this new rule, we're talking about using those clubs which are still legal and anchoring them against the body.
So you say anchored, and we're talking about how this is, the USGA is trying to get players to actually make a stroke as opposed to anchoring the club against their body. Give us a couple of examples exactly what they're talking about.
Yeah, they sure are, Dana. They are trying to get that free-flowing motion of what has traditionally been a stroke in golf. So I'm going to step back a little bit, and you can see that I've got a traditional or a short-length putter, and conventionally the putting stroke is free-flowing. Both the bottom and the top have movement to them in kind of a, I use it again, but free-flowing manner. When we're talking about anchoring, what we're doing is we're either putting it into us and anchoring the physical club into us so only one point has motion, or using our hand or arm to anchor that into the body, and again creating a point of anchor so that only the bottom is moving rather than potentially the top and the bottom.
Right. So you mentioned earlier though that we would still be able to use those broomstick style putters or belly putters, whatever you want to call them, under this rule.
Absolutely, yeah. There's nothing limiting the length of the putter or what type of putter that you'd like, but we just can't create that point of anchor. So for those players that have back issues and still want to use a longer putter, they're more than welcome to do so, but they need to maintain a little bit of space as to not anchor the putter against their bodies.
Okay, so we'll put a bow on this and just kind of talk about for me real quick about the timeline that is involved with this and what that means for me as an amateur or a professional player as I'm getting ready to play in tournaments over the next 2 or 3 years.
Sure. So the rule is going to be officially implemented as a rule of golf come January 1st, 2016. We know that the USGA goes through rule cycles, and this is the next one. The current rule book is from 2012 to 2015, and then in the new rule book, when 2016 rolls around, January 1st, this will be in the rule book. So until then, all of the anchored style putting is still legal, but come January 1, that will not be a permitted form of putting or making a stroke for any amateur competitions or professional competitions under USGA rules.
Right, so now the rules of golf say that you can't push, scrape, or spoon when you're trying to make a putt, and now add anchoring to the list as they try to get back to what they see as a more traditional style of a stroke. So thanks for joining us today on Sun Country Golf TV. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Sun Country Golf and like us on Facebook, and look for more Sun Country Golf TV in the future. Thanks for joining us.
This has been a Sun Country Golf TV production.